Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to The Sims 4 Seasons. In the last episode, Sage enjoyed some Love Day celebrations in her own way. It was less about the relationships for her and a little bit more about spreading her bluebells around town. And now she has plenty inside her pockets, which should actually help us out as we're preparing for the next holiday on the calendar. We have a rebate day coming up next, right on the second day of summer. Oh, and it also looks like we're getting a tiny little heat wave at the end. Ooh, that's the first time we've seen that before. I figured that Windenburg would be a little bit easier for her since it doesn't really seem like it's too hot here. In the springtime we were dealing with snow, which wasn't the same as other towns, so I feel like it's a little bit easier for her to survive outside. But if all goes well, then on rebate day we should be starting on our very first tiny little shack right inside our golden gardens. I'm thinking the flea market is in town. Oh, do you think that would be a good way for us to make some extra simoleons? I mean, I don't know, every single time I try to use the flea market, it seems like it never works out. So you know what, we're going to skip it this time, but next time the flea market comes into town, that's when we'll give it a try. So go ahead and clean up your dishes, Sage, and then maybe clean up your flowers too, because I wanted to try something special with these today. We'll have to weed them and spray them for bugs as well, because I think having little nasty critters on them would give you the wrong attention for our plants. Basically, I'm hoping that by buying one of those flower arranging stations, we might be able to make a little bit of extra money off of these things if we make some good flower arrangements. I'm pretty sure that we can also buy our own... I guess it's kind of like those tables at Selva Dorada. Back when we were playing through that expansion, you could buy all sorts of items from the vendors there. So if we purchase one and set it up right outside our tent, then theoretically we could make our own farmer's market. Right now though, I do just want her to harvest all of her bluebells, and then we'll have to harvest our lemons too. I'm not sure if this had grown during our last video, but now it's nice and strong, and thank goodness the lemons grow in summer too. So that means we still have plenty of simoleons to gain from our orchard back here. Oh my gosh! And the wild cherries are ready too. Yes! Okay, you are going to have to harvest like every last one of the fruits in this orchard before you get to work, because that'll certainly help us buy the flower arranging station. And hello, little sweet pea. How are you doing today? You going out adventuring, looking for more squirrels to fight? She has been relatively calm over the past few days that I've played off camera. She hasn't really gone searching out for any trouble, though she has been away quite often too, and that's because she is a free-spirited bunny, so we never know where she's going to end up. But there we go, I think that's everything collected. We'll have to try to do a little bit of research on these too someday. And it looks like we can actually take cuttings now, snip a sample of one plant to graft onto another and watch what grows. Oh, so we could get like different types of plants? Sawyer's strange. I'm in the mood for some retail therapy. Oh, he wants to go to the flea market. I think he was one of the guys that we gave one of our bluebells to in the previous episode. So it sounds like he's still a little bit interested in Sage. But hopefully that means he'll be coming by to pick up some of our bluebells soon. That would be nice. I guess I didn't harvest all of these, so while she's doing that, let's go ahead and sell off all of those fruits that we gathered. 50 cherries? Oh my goodness, and they're worth 8 simoleons apiece? 400 simoleons for one cherry harvest? Yes, please. That's even better than our lemons. And now with over 2,000 in our pockets, I think we're ready to go ahead and buy the flower arranging station. The violets are blue flower arranging table. Yeah, I'm curious if maybe we can make more simoleons off of the bluebells alone. We'll have to test it just to see first, because I don't want to end up losing simoleons on this. I know if you don't have the flowers in your inventory, it does actually cost a little bit more than you would make. Let's go ahead and give her a green flower table though. I feel like that would fit with all of the other things that we put inside her garden so far. So we might as well let her take a shower and then we'll try out the flower arranging. Let's see. Hopefully we can even make something with the bluebells since she is kind of new. Oh, thank goodness. She has plenty of options. So we can make just a plain bluebell arrangement, which thankfully costs us nothing since we have so many bluebells in our pockets. Or we could combine them with the daisies once we have a few of those inside our pockets too. And of course, those are worth much, much more. So yeah, I am very curious to see how much we can actually make off of these little bluebell arrangements. Right now, if we sell one of our bluebells, we're only making 2 simoleons. So it must be worth more, right? I guess we have to consider that she's using 3 bluebells at a time, but there's our flower arranging skill. Sage's new flower arranging skill will allow her to make flower arrangements on the table. As the skill level increases, more related interactions will unlock. Excellent, so let's see how she does for her very first time. And it looks like Sweet Pea is really interested too. Oh, we're going to have to work on our carrots. Yeah, unfortunately the carrots are out of season now. So maybe we can put her carrots inside this new little shack that we're going to build. It can be like the literal carrot shack, where we can place her fresh food. I'm sure that Sweet Pea would really appreciate it. You're doing pretty well for your first time though, Sage. Aside from the fact that you're sneezing inside the arrangement, probably not recommended. She does not seem too happy with it though. This is like completely mystifying our poor little sim. It looks like she might be almost done. Just a couple more flowers to go. Unfortunately, it does take quite a while to make these arrangements, so good thing we weren't planning on selling them at the flea market today. It probably would have taken way too much time. Oh my goodness, a poor quality bluebell arrangement. Well, I think it looks really nice. That is super cute. I know we can change the vases too, so let's see what we can do here. The bird nest vase. Oh, I've seen this one before and it's like my favorite one. Is that not the most adorable thing ever? It almost looks like she's been collecting twigs maybe in the forest as she's foraging around for her other treasures. And that's what she's used to build this little arrangement. So I think once we do finally sell our things, that's probably what we're going to use. Oh, that one's nice too though, the fall vase. It even changed the leaves. But yeah, I think we are definitely going to go with the bird nest vase for now. And it looks like we could also take photos. Ooh, that reminds me. We should definitely start Simstagramming. What is this? Sweet Pea, what have you done? Oh my gosh, throw that away in a lecture about eating trash. Where did that even come from? Was she maybe cleaning out the litter box or something? Maybe I stopped her from doing that when we made our bluebells? Oh my goodness, well thank goodness we didn't Simstagram Sweet Pea during that moment. We're going to have to lecture her about eating trash so she doesn't do it again. But then I would like for her to start taking some pictures of the wildlife around her garden. Not only would it be an excellent way for her to make a little bit of extra cash, but I feel like it would add something extra to the backstory of the garden too. Maybe she can document her adventures this way to garner interest. That way more people might stop by once we do eventually have our little farmer's market set up. Let's take this picture of the campfire right behind her too, our destructive killer bunny. There's no better picture than that. And then a little bunny bum to end it out. There we go. How'd she do with her Simstagram followers? She gained 19 Simstagram followers, not bad at all. So now we should be able to sell off those photos as well for 53 simoleons. And as she gets better at the photography skill, it should be worth even more. So go ahead and refill her bowl for now. Unfortunately, you won't be sprinkling any extra carrots on there this time, will you? Roasting marshmallows. Oh, we have plenty of fish for you to eat, so don't worry about that, Sage. She's not even super hungry. Oh, and Sweet Pea is still terrified of the campfire. And granted, I would be pretty terrified of that too. It is really roaring. Please don't catch your logs on fire, Sage. Let's go back to our flower arrangement though, because I think this was worth 6 simoleons, which unfortunately is the exact same amount that the bluebells would be worth on their own. So it doesn't really seem like this is going to be a faster way for us to take care of them, but it is super cute. And it's something that we can sell for more simoleons at our own market. Oh my gosh, we have exactly 2,000 simoleons now. Nice, a very, very nice sage. Okay, so maybe we could put some of the bluebells inside this flower arranging station. I believe there is a way for us to transfer them. Hopefully? Can we open up the stack? Oh, it seems like some of these can't be moved for some reason, but the other ones can. Well, we'll fill it up with a few then, and then I guess we'll sell the rest. I just don't want to get rid of all of them, just in case I forget to store them away before the season ends. The bluebells only last in the summer and spring, so after the summertime is over, we're going to have to rely on some different flowers. Oh my goodness, picking up sweet pea, how adorable. Now, one thing I didn't check is whether or not we have any new plants around here. I know that our mushrooms aren't growing anymore, so maybe something new is going to pop up in the meantime. Yeah, looks like something's growing here. Oh no, those are just our mushrooms. False alarm. But the bluebells are still alive and well, so we have plenty more to gather along the way. But yeah, I'm hoping that something new is going to pop up too, because it would be nice to get some more different types of flowers in the mix. We have some sort of sparkling treasure up by the waterfall this time. It was kind of empty last time, so I'm glad there's still something for her to find. Maybe we'll have to just head into a different world in the next episode and see if she can find anything special. Ooh, are the blackberries ready too? No, they're not, but they're shining and sparkling. Huh. I wonder if that means they're growing or that they're particularly good quality. I thought that meant they were ready to harvest because it seems like our lemons are always sparkling when we're ready to harvest those. Well, that's too bad. I wonder if they're going to be ready in the fall time instead. I'm thinking of cattails, of course, and that's when we can find our blackberries around the forest. There's a couple more treasures in your pocket, so go ahead and return home because I think it might be time for us to not go to any parties, Nancy. I'm very, very sorry. It should be time for us to get some rest before the big renovation day on Rebate Day. Oh my gosh, is the vampire back? Is this the same guy? Omar. Oh my goodness, he's back. And he's interacting with a little sweet pea this time? Oh, very, very interesting. I wonder if Sweet Pea has been visiting him when she leaves Windenburg. Oh my gosh, maybe we'll have to go to the vampire world. What's it called? Oh, I can't remember, the name escapes me. But maybe she could do a little bit more research on the vampires around the world that way. And there we go. It is officially Rebate Day now. Alright, so what do we actually have to do? All object purchases in build mode earn a 10% rebate for today only. Buy an object worth at least 500 simoleons to complete this tradition. Watch for the rebate to arrive in household funds later this week. Okay, so it's not going to be instant. Oh my gosh, but this vampire, he is still hanging around here. He's roasting marshmallows. He's using your campfire sage. Well, it's probably time for you to get up anyways. Maybe you could see what's going on here? Complain about Rebate Day sage. That is not the Rebate Day spirit. We desperately need this. Honestly though, let's get to know this guy if we can. Discuss his interests and just get to know. I'm very, very curious about why he's hanging around here so much. And it's probably not a good idea for you to hang around much longer because the sun is starting to come up over the horizon. You are going to be feeling very, very uncomfortable soon. I'd imagine he's probably going to disappear. But before he runs off... Oh, that was awfully friendly. Ah, excellent. Okay, the first trait we've learned is evil. We can ask him to turn too. Ooh, maybe we'll have to try that in the future. It doesn't look like I can ask him about any more of his interests though, so maybe next time he comes around the garden we can learn a little bit more. Sage is already hard at work. Alright, maybe it's time for us to gather up the last of our simoleons then. It looks like our trees back here could use a little bit of love and care too. So we'll sell all of our lemons after we weed them. We'll clean our litter box as well. And then we'll do the same for our bluebells this time. Just sell each and every one of them, because it's our last chance to make a few extra bucks. I'm kind of surprised that Omar is still hanging around here, though. I think we're going to have to ask you to leave so we can move stuff around over here. Maybe it's because it's such a cloudy day? I wonder if that's why he's okay? Because the sun isn't really beating down on him, so he has nothing to fear exposed like this. Ooh, he seems totally shocked by that too. You telling me, a master evil vampire, to leave your home? Alright, we're gonna have to keep an eye out for Omar in the future. Alright, so our grand total is over 3,000 simoleons. So it sounds like we're going to need to buy just one item that's worth at least 500. It's now like a grand total of items that's worth at least 500 simoleons, but just one big purchase that's 500 simoleons a pop. So first things first, let's see what we can do about some walls. We're going to put a roof over your head at long last, Sage. Or maybe I should say a roof over Sweet Pea's head, since this is kind of going to be her carrot shack. I guess we could build it way back here for now. I feel like it would probably be a little bit more secluded anyways. Oh my gosh, and if there is one thing I have learned about The Sims, it is that walls are incredibly expensive. That took off nearly 1,000 simoleons already, so I'm not sure if we're going to be furnishing this thing too much. Aside from a couple of little plants, or pots I mean, to grow our carrots, we might have to wait until she has a few more simoleons in her pockets to make this place look like a true finished home. Let's go with the big planter boxes, since I feel like we might actually be able to fit some more plants in here than if we use these tiny little garden pots. Then we can just move our carrots straight over. We don't actually have enough carrots to plant in here. Well, that's okay. Once these start growing again, assuming that they will start growing now, I'm not sure if there's a way to tell aside from when they start sprouting, but hopefully this will be the start of a beautiful new greenhouse. So we might as well move Sweet Pea's bowl over here too. I wonder if there's a way that we can just tuck it inside here. I'm sure that it won't interfere too much since it is so small, and then she should have a nice cool place to come by and relax. It looks like we also may have unlocked some more of these seed packets. Oh, so the seasonal plants unlock at the gardening skill at different levels of this. That means that we could theoretically buy one of these seasonal summer plants and see what we can grow ourselves in these new empty spaces. I suppose that would probably be a good idea, especially right now, since it will give us some simoleons back. So we'll go ahead and plop this right next to your garden sage so you can open that in the future. Now let's see if there's anything else that we can purchase that's worth 500 simoleons. Anything else that Sage might have her eye on? I mean, I definitely want to buy these bee boxes. Birdie's bee box. Rebate day bees. The bargain bin bees. Probably not the best bees to invite into your garden, but I'm sure she'll make do. The green one is kind of nice. Ooh, but I think I like the yellow bee box even better. Yeah, let's go with the yellow bee box. That one looks super cute. And now we're just down to finding one last item that's worth at least 500 simoleons, and then we should be done. Oh, we could buy her a little picnic table. Then she would have a nice spot to sit out here if she does want to invite anybody over. That is a possibility, though unfortunately they're not really that expensive. It's like the one time that you want something a little bit more expensive to give to your Sims. I'm not sure if this stone piece really fits in right now. I mean, I guess it could. It does look pretty old, as if it's been sitting here for quite some time. And you know what? If we're gonna allow ourselves to splurge, just one single thing to splurge on, I guess it might as well be this. We could probably change the color too. Let's see, is there anything that would look a little bit better? Oh, we could actually make it look like it's made out of wood. But I don't know, I kind of like the one that's all covered in moss a little bit better. Yeah, let's just go with this, and we'll leave it right there for now. I'm sure I'm going to move around all of this stuff in the future, but we just needed to make sure that we purchased something that was worth 500 simoleons. So now all of these big purchases should get us a little bit of cash back. And what do you think of your new little carrot shack, little one? There's still some work left to do, Gotta put in the floorboards and some wallpaper. But she seems quite into it, doesn't she? That's a good sign. So come on over here and open up that seasonal packet of seeds if you wouldn't mind, because I do want to see what's in this thing before we end the episode. And I would also like to interact with our little bee box too, our bargain bin bees. Did you open your seed packet? Alright, it looks like we gained a bunch of lemons. Really, is that all that it gave us? Oh, that kind of stinks. And even more so now because I think we have some bills. Yup. Unfortunately, electricity means that we are going to have to start paying our bills now. Thank goodness we left a few simoleons to work with. But you know, now Sweet Pea is not going to be the only creature around town who can bring us some little gifts for the garden. If we bond with our bees enough, then I think we should be able to send them out to find stuff for us. And they're active and calm right now. Good, good. That is exactly the sort of thing you want to see when you're letting out the bee swarm. Oh no. Oh no, did they turn on you? Oh, Sage, this reminds me of Selva Dorada. How many times did poor Felix get stung by bees? Oh, that didn't work, did it? You know, they don't seem to like you any more than they did before. Can we bond with them again? I know we can change into a beekeeper's suit, but if I remember correctly, that means that we can't bond with the bees. It would be a safe way for us to gather their honey if they did have any to spare. But you're just gonna have to put up with a couple of stings here and there, Sage. Oh my goodness. If you want your garden to thrive. Yes! It looks like our carrots are doing okay. They're starting to grow again at least. So Sage finally has a roof over her head. Kind of anyways. She finally has a place to transport all of her extra seeds. All of her extra plants that won't grow during the current season. Though I am super curious to find out if there's anything special that we can discover in the different worlds. So I think what we might do, especially considering that she's so interested in searching out vampire information, maybe we'll take a trip to Omar's hometown and see if we can find any special plants there. What do you think, Sage? You up for finding Omar again? It'll be some pretty dangerous work, but I'm sure she's up for the task. Maybe we'll have to bring some of our special bluebell flowers to lift his spirits. There must be some reason why the vampires have been hanging around so much lately. Maybe they just really love flowers too. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!